welcome to the Odd Couple podcast. Long time coming. Finally, we're both here. Me and my name is Peter Lucas, and this is Nate there, and two completely different personalities on the same podcast. It's Hatfield and McCoy's, and we got a huge matchup. Obviously, it's NFC Championship week, and 49ers versus Rams, and we're going to talk a little bit about the matchups and what we're going to see from each team. Nobody knows both of these teams more than me and Nate. So, Nate, how confident are you in your team?
Well, 6 in a row doesn't make me want to, run around talking smack by any means. Look, I know what they have to do, but can they do it? I mean, really, it's just that simple. I mean, it's really interesting because when you watch the Rams play the 49ers, McVay seems to get in this idea that he needs to crack skulls with you guys. Instead of doing all the misdirection and the jet sweeps and all the things that's made him who he is, he has this weird ego thing with Shanny, I guess, where he feels the need to try to play your game. And dude, it doesn't work. And we're seeing it happen again and again and again. Early on when they first got hired, we owned you guys. You guys were all banged up and you had no identity. And McVay was pretty quick to establish an identity of what the Rams were going to be. And then you guys had that 1 year where you just blew up. And ever since that point, he's just had the number, regardless of how good you've been or how banged up you've been. He's just had the Rams number, and it's just about physicality. That's all. This whole game's going to come out of physicality. End of story.
Yeah, for sure.
If the Rams can keep you off balance, if they can find a way to negate that front four of yours, then if they can put 4 quarters together like the first half of our last game, then we got a chance to go to the dance. But if they try to get into a pissing contest with you and try to do this blow for blow thing, you're going to be playing a Super Bowl in our home stadium.
Yeah, I really believe that this game is really, like you said, it's going to come down to physicality. But I mean, I think that McVay, the biggest thing is he's going to have to do something different. I would say the thing that when we play the Seahawks twice a year, and what Pete Carroll does quite frequently against us that works really well is he just nothing is off the table. Anything can come out.
Right.
And there is nothing that there is just, even if they're not the more physical team, he always does something that surprises, like a fake punt, fake hits. Well, their special teams were just better than ours, but the reality is what is McVay going to do differently in this game that Shanny's not expecting? And I think the biggest issue in the beginning for Shanny against McVay was that he had no players. I mean, he had no players.
You guys had to get caught up.
Yeah. And it was now I feel like we have such good skill players on offense, and then D'Amico Ryans, our defensive coordinator, is just, I mean, I thought Saleh was solid. I thought he was really good. But D'Amico is just on another level. And I mean, to hold the Packers down to 10 points, I don't care what the weather was, in their house, that was a huge a statement, I think, for D'Amico. And we know he's going to get a head coaching job. So, that's really,
for sure.
I'm very confident in the 49ers, and their physicality is going to be there. The question is can we do it 3 times in a row? And is McVay going to show anything different? I have a feeling he is. So it's going to be, can we adjust? And I think the answer is yes. I think D'Amico is shown that he's very good at adjusting to whatever the offense is doing. So I'm stoked for that. But how do you think that the QB matchup is gonna go? Jimmy G versus your
new and improved here we go,
Matt Stafford.
Well, you long know my opinion of your boy Jimmy G.
Yeah.
I think he's about the 17th, 9th, somewhere between 17 and 20 in ranking of actual quarterback talent in the NFL. But, again, it's if they can protect him, if they can make the game functional around him, he can do what he's got to do. But we all know he's going to make the mistake. It's going to come. It's the question of how much it's going to cost you. Stafford, it's Jekyll and Hyde. This is a guy that can come out and hang 400 and 4 touchdowns on you like he's drinking Gatorade, and he can also throw 2 pick sixes in a quarter. So, I mean, trying to predict what Matt Stafford's going to do. We know what we're going to get with Jimmy G. You already know what you're going to get. Like, it's a guarantee. The Niners, it's like playing Nebraska in the old days. This is exactly what we're going to do. Stop it.
Yep.
Nothing pretty's going to come. We're just going to beat you and grind you and grind you. And if you got enough to hang 4 quarters, then maybe you got us. But if you don't, uh-oh. The Rams, on the other hand, I don't know, man. I'm 2 of the last 3 weeks, we've just melted in the second half, just flat melted. And the scarier thing is that the Bucs didn't do anything special. Like, I know what you did. That game at Tampa, you couldn't find a reason why that happened. They literally just mentally shut down and almost handed the game away. McVay's his number one beef that everybody says about him is McVay cannot adjust.
Yeah.
The game plan is the game plan is the game plan. And what makes Belichick so great is, you'll play a half with him. And then he'll come out in the second half and have an entirely new thing to wreck your day. Yeah. McVay has his plan in the first quarter. It's the same plan in the fourth quarter. And, that's not championship football. That can be playoff football. Making the playoffs is one thing. A lot of teams make the playoffs, especially now. It's a huge field. But what are you going to do when you get there? How are you going to get that next level? How are you going to get, when you get down to that Final Four, how are you going to take that next step? And I mean, really, he hasn't done it. I mean, the game with New Orleans, we all know what happened. I mean, they hung with them. But I mean, in the end, it was really, some bad refereeing that really deflated New Orleans, and the Rams took advantage, but I want to sit here and try to give you some sort of like great strategic thing to beat you. Because I've really been thinking about this whole time before we did this, and there's nothing. Like, it's a simple matchup. We know what it is. We know what you're going to do.
It's going to be a fight. It's all going to be a fight.
Yeah, that's the thing, man. It's like, it's not a complicated matchup. It's really not. It's not like we're, dealing with some, 2 high-tech offenses that are going to go wild. It's just, what you are, we know what we are. And I guess for the Rams to win this game, he's going to have to get in to the jet sweeps. He's going to have to get into the fakes. He's going to have to get into the double reverses. He's got to find a way to keep you guys back and not forward. And that's, if he's going to try to line up Akers and run power eye at you and just play this simple game, the Rams are going to lose, period. End of story.
Yeah. And I mean, as far as the QBs go, like, I mean, Jimmy, we know what Jimmy is like. I'm not going to disparage him for all the world to see. I mean, he's not good. But that
he's average.
How he just has this way of just somehow doing just enough to not kill you, and just enough to. But when he is on and he gets those guys the ball in space, it's a beautiful thing, because he always gets them in a position to get ridiculous amounts of yards after the carry. But if that ball, if he throws that ball, but like if it comes off his hand, any kind of funny, it's either going to be a pick or it's going to bounce off of somebody's head, and it's just usually a bad thing for the 49ers. Mm-hmm. But I really think that if they can hold him to, if Jimmy can just stay away from 2 picks, if he can just stick to 1, in this game, I think we'll be okay. But yeah, as long as he can stay away from multiple interceptions and a fumble and that kind of stuff, I think they'll be okay. I worry about the same thing you were just talking about as far as Matt Stafford, that you don't know which one you're going to get. But I think that the biggest issue is every quarterback that I've watched play us this season has done the same thing. We shut down their run game, so then they try to press with the pass. Then we shut down. Then D'Amico shuts the pass down, and then they default to just chucking the ball up to try and get the PI call.
Right.
It's I think if he does that this week, it's going to bite him, because I think that they showed last time we played you guys that Ambry Thomas, our rookie, who was not playing well in the beginning of the season, he couldn't even get on the field in the beginning of the season. But he's solid. He's solid over there. And
he's grown quite a bit.
Yeah, Emmanuel Mosley on the other side, he's nice. And then we got two really good safeties that still nobody knows their names. So it's in Jimmy Ward and Jaquaski Tart. So it's going to be, and then our linebackers, everybody knows our linebacker, our main guy, Fred Warner. But I just think that it's going to come. Matt Stafford, is the key to him is the fact that we are going to rush 4 with the very occasional blitz, and even the blitz is only probably going to be one guy. And
you don't need blitz.
Yeah, I saw a stat today that said that we only blitz up to like 19% of our defensive snaps, and most teams blitz about 30+% against Stafford, and that's really when he goes off. If you can just rush 4 against him, he doesn't do as well. And I really think that that's what it's going to come down to. If we can just stay in our rushing 4, and D'Amico coming up with those stunts and twists on the defensive line to get our guys against your bad linemen, it'll be. I think it's going to be it might be a rough day for Mr. Stafford. But
who are the good linemen?
Well, I mean, what's his name? What's your left tackle's name?
Andrew Whitworth. Whitworth this
is
year is it's catching him. So this is I was just talking about this with another buddy of mine the other day. Whitworth has not been good this year. He's 40 years old, dude. I mean, it's time. And I mean, God bless the guy for playing at a Pro Bowl level even last year at that age. Yeah. But this year, I mean, our game, if you broke down our last game, he was getting thrown around the field. And I mean, you guys got Stafford 5 times, and I'm telling you right now, Stafford escaped 5 more at least with throwaways and stepaways. You could have had 10 sacks in that game. Easy. And that was that, like you said, without even blitzing. That was 4 guys on 5.
Yeah.
Just pitching the Rams offensive line around. But again, this is what happens when you trade away all of your draft picks, Pete, and you get 5 superstars on your team. This is what happens. You have no depth. The Rams' entire offensive line, there's not a first-round pick besides the 40-year-old on that line. There's only 1 second-round pick on that line. That's Havelstein. He's been a liability his entire career. Allen was a 5th or 6th round pick. Edwards, I think, was a 6th round pick, or maybe even a free agent. I mean, it's just it's a patchwork line, and this is why they have to have the misdirection and keeping you off your heels, because they can't just come at you. They can't do it. They don't have the team to do it. And skill wise, I mean, Kupp, obviously the guy's a freak show. He can get open on anybody, anytime, anywhere. OBJ has found a little life. He's not Woods, but he seems to be finding a little niche. Jefferson's a nice 3. Higbee has moments where he looks like a tight end 1, and then there's times where he looks like there should be somebody else. Akers, well, he got very sloppy with the ball last week. I definitely love that kid. But again, if there's no holes, it's not going to much matter who you got back there. You can put Barry Sanders back there with no holes.
Yeah.
You know, it's like
I very much doubt that you guys are going to run the ball on the 49ers. Like
no,
we have shut down pretty much every running game that's gone against
no.
us since like week 10. So
Right.
it's but they're going to have to do it just for a change of pace, if nothing
Mm-hmm.
else. So it's
Well, that's what I mean with the jet sweeps. Like, just kind of get
yeah,
creative with it. Throw some
something.
pitches. Try to get the ball outside. Right. They got to find a way to get you guys not downhill. You know, I mean, the secondary matchups really that favors us. If we have the time, we have better skill plot. I like our skill players to your secondary, but it doesn't matter if Stafford's getting beat up and thrown off his back foot all day. That's going to make your guys look better.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, and that's the key to your game, you know, and again, you know, and then getting into our defense a little bit, again, same problem. Middle linebackers, Troy Reeder. You ever heard of that guy?
Yeah. Well, I heard about him last last game very often. Like
yeah. And then we have D'Ernest Jones, our 6th round rookie from this year. Yeah, right, exactly. We have a pass rush, and we have Jalen Ramsey, who's obviously an elite shutdown corner. But you get a guy like Debo who can line up in every single position on that friggin' offense. And what do? I mean, you know, it's tough to get a guy chasing one guy all over the field.
Yeah.
You know.
And I have a question. So why do you think it is that Aaron Donald struggled so much against our offensive line? Which, to be honest, our offensive line is really not good. Like we have Trent Williams, yes, and we have Laken Tomlinson. We have those two on the left side, and Alex Mack. He's like you said about Whitworth. I think he's 36 this year. He's really supposed to be going downhill, but he's been an epiphany for us because we've had nothing but bad center play for the last like 3 years. So it's but on the right side of the line, you got Daniel Brunskill, who they got from the AAF, and then you've got Tom Compton, who is this is the first time he's ever played tackle. He usually plays guard, and he's been a journeyman his whole career. He's never been anything but a backup. So it's
because you run the ball. That's the thing. You guys negate what Donald does well.
Yeah.
You don't have to drop back and throw the ball 40 times against us. Now, if we shut your run down and we make Jimmy beat us and we can pin our ears back, hang on, Pete. It's gonna be a long day for you, bud.
Yeah.
But you guys take that away from Donald. You guys take away what makes that defensive line go. What good are 2 edge rushers if you're throwing the ball 19 times? What good is the best interior pass rusher maybe ever if you're not throwing the ball? You know, Donald's game against the run is excellent, but he's the only guy on that line who's good against the run. Yeah. And that's the problem. You've got 2 pure pass rushers on the edge in Floyd and Miller.
Yeah.
And you've got, we rotate through Gaines. Joseph Day's been hurt, although he was starting to come up and he got hurt. Gaines is a functional fill-in at best. You know, we rotate, and then we have Ashawn Robinson that we rotate in there, and those are just guys, you know, and you negate what makes them great. You know, the Cardinals couldn't run the ball, and you saw what happened.
I was shocked at how bad. Well, I think that their scheme is way different. Like it's
of course,
they try to run straight ahead at you a lot, and then they try to get their little guys to the edges, like on sweeps, like you were talking about. But I think by that time, but their running backs, they just kind of just run straight forward, and it's I think that's running right into the heart, right at Aaron Donald. That's not the way. Like
no,
I think Kyle has done a great job of moving Trent Williams around, sending him in motion. Sending him in motion to get out on sweeps, and I don't know, just look up YouTube, Trent Williams destroying people, and he literally picks up defensive linemen and just tosses them to the side. It's an incredible thing to watch, but
for sure.
But yeah, it's just always the running joke on 49er Twitter is that Aaron Donald is like Daniel Brunskill's because ever since Daniel Brunskill has been starting, Aaron Donald has had bad days. And is he going up against Aaron Donald every time? No, because
No.
of how
It's scheme.
Kyle,
You guys run away from him. Yeah.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Why would you run to him? It just doesn't make
Right,
any
yeah.
sense. Like, but yeah, I feel like we have the key to Kyle's offense is all the pre-snap motion. They want to get your eyes going in 20 different directions, and then after the pre-snap motion, then post-snap, they've got a bunch of guys running in different directions. So like you'll watch the tape and you'll see a lot of guys just kind of looking around to see where the ball actually is, and it's kind of I don't understand how we don't have more holding penalties than we do because usually when the ref can't see what's going on, they just call hold. They just assume and they call hold. And that was what was happening to us in the beginning of the season. But yeah, like we've settled in. I think that the offensive line has done a lot better. They absolutely do not want to have Jimmy throw more than 20 to 25 times in this game.
Right.
That's the key to every game for us because I feel if he has to throw more than that, it's gonna be a long day because he's gonna take 5-6 sacks because he won't throw the ball away. He never throws the ball away. So
well, and like Shanahan trusts his process. So you look at our last game; it was 17-0 Rams. Everything was going our way. I think Donald actually had a sack and a half in that game in the first half, which might have been the first time he's ever sacked Garoppolo, which is insane when you think about the years this guy's put together, right?
Yeah.
I think he sacked Murray about 9 times already, Kyler Murray. So it's like, you look at those two quarterbacks.
I felt so bad.
It would be the other way around, right?
Yeah. I felt so bad for that kid. Kyler, he just had the worst game of his life against you guys.
Oof.
But yeah, so key defensive players for your team. Like, who do you think are the keys? Obviously, Aaron Donald. Other than the obvious ones like Aaron Donald.
If you're able to play your game, honestly, I think we need to get better safety play. And I'm going to say that because of what Debo does and what Kittle does. You guys eat up the middle of the field. You don't throw deep balls. You're not running a ton of 9 routes. Like, this is not a team that's going to just do what the Rams do when they're on and just heave friggin' 9 routes. I mean, look at how we won that game on Sunday. That's Rams football. That's what they want to do. You guys don't do that. You tear up the middle of the field. So the safeties, Taylor Rapp's coming back, who's an utter liability in coverage, but he can play things in front of him. If you get behind him, it's over. The kid couldn't cover you if you got past him. But and Fuller, Jordan Fuller, these guys are going to have to find a way to take away the middle of the field, or at least minimize the mid. Which I don't think anybody can take it away. But now with the Kittle and a Debo, they're going to got to minimize their impact. I mean, and Kittle's funny too because he'll disappear for 2 quarters against us, and then just all of a sudden there he is on that 19-yard catch across the middle and that 20-yard catch across the middle. It's like, God, you just think that you've got him.
It's going to be tackling. Like, that's going to be the key. It's going to be tackling. And can your guys, because Debo, one guy's not going to tackle him.
No.
Like, it's not going to happen.
No.
I don't care if it's Ramsey. Ramsey's not going to tackle
I hear you.
one-on-one either. So it's it's going to come down to tackling for you guys on defense. I feel for us, it's can we break some of those tackles because it's just breaking a tackle and then getting those extra 5 yards. It just becomes demoralizing over a game, and I think that's the key for us. For the key defensive players for us against you guys is every single one of those no names on that defensive line. Like nobody other than Nick Bosa, and you might know who Eric Armstead is.
Sure, I do.
Well, who else on that defensive line?
Yeah, he was the guy you kept instead of Buckner. Yeah.
That's really the only reason why anybody knows who he is. But he's quietly had 4 sacks in the last 2 games.
Yeah.
And DJ Jones. Listen for the name DJ Jones. Samson Ebukam, you should know that name.
Oh yeah, I
'Cause
know
he
that
was
name.
on your guys. So we took him. He struggled in the beginning, but he has after week 10, he's been getting steady pressure and he's been getting sacks. He got a sack last game too. And then there's Jordan Willis, who was another cast off that we turned into somebody. Arden Key, who we got from the Raiders, another cast off that they turned into somebody. Another a key for our defensive line, and nobody knows this guy's name either. Is our defensive line coach, Chris Kasurik is his name.
Mm-hmm.
He turns nobodies into and practice squad players into all of a sudden they're threats. Like Jordan Willis, we got off the scrap heap for like the minimum
from the Bengals. You know what?
Yeah,
You
like
know what though, man? He was because I actually know who that is, believe it or not. And he was actually quietly a 6-7 sack guy a year for the Bengals. He was not elite, but I mean,
nobody knew
really,
who he
like,
was.
yeah, but I mean, they wound up getting, obviously they wound up getting Hubbard and they got the Hendrickson kid, whatever. We don't have to get into them, but so they found some players that kind of ran him off the team. But I mean, he wasn't a bad player. And like you said, you get in the right system, you find the right place to be. And, and like you said, same with Arden Key, he was considered to be kind of a bust in Oakland/Vegas, whatever.
Yeah.
And, yeah, I mean, but again, it's the Raiders. You can't judge me too hard for that.
Yeah, you can't blame them for being bad on a badly coached and badly ran franchise. But yeah, I think that's what the Niners have done well with is they look for those types of players, players that have the talent, they just need direction. And like they get a lot of practice squad guys that they just bring up, even on as corners. I mean, we made Josh Norman a viable corner this season. Even I mean, he played terrible. Let's not get it twisted. He played terrible, but I mean, they were still winning games with him. So it is what it is. But I think the key defensive players for the 49ers are all those no-name guys on that defensive line. They have to get pressure. It's got to be the same amount of pressure that they got the last time that these teams played. And yeah, this game is gonna be won in the trenches, like every 49er game is won and lost. It's in the trenches. If you can block us, or we and then we can't block you, we're gonna lose.
Right.
So,
I mean, look, man, like it hasn't been a total wash. Some of our 6 losses, they've been really good games. We had the last one. What was it in 19? The year you guys went to the Super Bowl. Taylor Rapp blew that coverage on Emmanuel Sanders, and Jimmy G just threw a friggin' eyes closed rainbow shot. We actually had you guys, and they blew like a 3rd and 19 or something like that. There have been some good battles, and then there's been some ones where the Rams just didn't show up at all. But especially up in your place. I mean, the Rams have been horrific in that stadium for at least the last 2 trips. So, but I mean, again, being at home, crowd notwithstanding, because that whole takeover thing has just got me rolling my eyes. I'm sorry, it does. But again, it's the NFL, dude. If you can win on the road, you can win at home, no matter who's in your stadium. The Rams, every time we play the Eagles, every time we play the Bears, it doesn't matter who it is, dude. It's 50-50. So this is not a new thing for the Rams.
They said they're projecting, they're saying now on 49er Twitter that it may be an even higher split for the 49ers fan wise, like at this game, because they said that the people that sell the tickets are actually having problems filling the seat. But I mean, like, look at the price. Have you seen?
I was going to say, dude, I looked on StubHub. I was thinking, man, that'd be cool. I mean, I swear to God, I mean, who are these people that are buying these things? Who's got $9-10 grand to go sit in a decent seat for a game? I mean, I know it's LA and all, but you got to remember, like, these are not Green Bay fans. These are not Chief fans. This is a different city, man. If you're trying to get $3 grand a pop for these things, you're gonna have an empty seat.
Like, and I mean, San Francisco is actually a higher cost of living than LA. So, so how these people have the money to go and either fly or drive down and stay out there and then buy a seat. I don't know. I'm just in the wrong business, I guess. But what do you
I mean,
think of?
yeah.
So, what's your prediction for the final score?
Oh God. Oh. Well, I'm not going to pick the 49ers to win just because I simply won't do it. It can't come out of my mouth. So I'll go 2017 us.
Okay. How
What do you
many?
got?
I honestly, like, and I said this in I was talking in one of the Twitter space the other day. Like, you're gonna be upset, but like I'm calling 27-14 Niners. Like, I think that this game is. I think for one that Shanny. At first I didn't put stock into McVay's the whole McVay is like Shanny lives in McVay's head rent free stuff, but I think it's an actual thing at this point. And I think that the our team, even though we had a terrible offensive performance against Green Bay, I feel like the skill players for us are hitting on all cylinders right now. Defense hitting on all cylinders. Like, we have hardly any injuries. There's nobody's going to miss this game, and it's just I just think I just have this feeling that that they're going to put a stamp on this season and get back to the Super Bowl. I just get that feeling from this team. For us to have a special teams performance like we did when we had one of the most terrible special teams in the league, and for that to win us the game in Green Bay, I just feel like this team is a team of destiny. And it's I'm not it's not that I don't call that score because I'm overconfident. I call that score because I just feel the momentum. And so that's what I see. Will it happen? Who knows?
I don't,
I'm just a podcast guy. Like, so.
yeah, I mean, I don't have an argument for you. Like, again, I mean, I do I feel like we're the dog in this? Yeah, I do. I mean, I really do. Not because I feel like you're better, because I feel like you guys know how to game plan McVay teams, period. I mean, you guys had to win again to make the playoffs. A lot of teams beat you this year. So it's not like you came in here, 15-2, and you guys were, the royalty of the NFL coming in. You're kind of doing that Giants thing, what they did to the Patriots there. What was that, in 08, 07, 08, where you just had to like eke your way in and then you just got hot.
Yeah.
And it's just that same kind of feeling that you guys have going right now. I'm just hoping to shut you down.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. Yeah, so
Yeah.
what do you think is going to happen what's your prediction for the AFC Championship? Who do you think is going to be in the Super Bowl?
Uh, that Buffalo KC game just it upset me so much for a game that I shouldn't even have cared about. Like, I wanted Buffalo to win that game so bad, dude. Like, I felt a little bit invested in it, honestly. Like, to see the way that game went back and forth. And then again, I think we got a great case for if a game goes to overtime in the playoffs, we need to go to college rules. They can do what they're doing in the regular season, but that was nuts. I mean, to have a coin flip, both defenses were done. Both defenses were gassed. You knew whoever won that coin flip was going to win that game. And it came down to friggin' flipping silver. And that was all that was.
Yeah.
But in the end, as much as I love the Bengals story, and as much as I'm a Zach Taylor homer because he's a Nebraska kid.
Yeah, of course. And he's from the Rams, right? Didn't he coach under McVay?
Yeah. He's a McVay guy too. Quarterback coach. It's hard to see them going into KC in January and winning that game. I mean, I think they might make them sweat, but just because they're a really kind of unique little meat and potatoes team. But in the end, in KC, late January, 4th straight championship game for KC. It's hard to imagine. I'll go 31. I'll go 31-21 KC. Although I'm really hoping to God that flips.
Yeah, for sure. I'll tell you this. Like, I would love to see the Bengals, because we already beat them once this season. So I would love to see the Bengals win this. And I will say I have all the faith in the world in Joe Burrow being that guy going forward for that team. If they ever build an offensive line around him, it is over for that whole division for a long time. But
who wouldn't kill for those receivers? Who wouldn't kill for that receiving core? Are you kidding me?
Oh my God, Jamar Chase. and I am and you're gonna see some of it in the off season, like after the Niners season is over, whenever that is, like I start doing draft. I start getting ready for the draft, and I sat there and I listened to a lot of guys say that Jamar Chase wasn't going to be that good in the league because he couldn't get separation in college, and I sat there and listened to him. So I was like, and I went along with him watching the tape because I mean, literally, the guy would just catch balls over guys, and he would no separation whatsoever, and
don't forget that he took off. He sat for a year too.
Yeah, but he still went like what, top 10? He went top 10, right? Like I think he went top 10, but it was just I just thought that the guy was going to be I thought that he was going to be somehow a disappointment. I was going to get to say I told you so, and and that was going to be a wrap. But that guy, whoo, you got him, and then you got Higgins, and then you've got the other guy. I can't remember his name right now, but I mean, yeah, those
Boyd.
three. Yeah, Boyd. Like, I mean, they're just who do you cover? And but at the end of the day, it's Mahomes, and like you just cannot count that guy out. Not only for the reason why he's supremely talented, but also for the reason that he knows how to work the refs, if that makes sense. You'll see him with his little baby steps on his scrambles, and he knows exactly when to go down just so the guy can graze him and get a flag. Or he just waits, he tiptoes the sideline, and then as soon as the defender's about to hit him, he steps out so he can get the flag. He is a master at that. And I'm waiting for somebody to just I'm waiting for the league to figure out a way to curb that whole thing. But I just think Mahomes is just, with that and the talent, he's just I just can't see anybody beating him.
Hard.
Like
that's what I was saying. Is as much as I would love to think that it could happen, the best chance for it to happen was last Sunday. And you know, the Bills went blow for blow, and again, it's very hard to see a new team, an up and coming team, and they're, you know, making their first run coming out of nowhere, pulling this off. But hey, who knows? You know, maybe they're on a crazy, 99 Rams trajectory. Who knows, man? I mean, it's hard to say, but
my score is going to be a little different. Like I got, my score is actually going to be 45-41. I think it's going to be just a shootout. I think that because the Kansas City defense, their defensive line specifically has struggled, and even though that's not going to do anything for the Bengals offensive line, they're just terrible. But it'll give Burrow just enough time. I mean, I just don't think that Kansas City's defense can guard these receivers at all. Right. And people forget about their running game. They have
Joe Mixon's good, dude.
Yeah, they have a good running back that can break one. So I just think it's going to be whoever has the ball last, and like that's who's going to go ahead and win it. But don't count out Joe Burrow. But I'm never going to vote against, or I'm never going to bet against Mahomes unless he goes against the Niners again, and then because I think the D'Amico's got his number.
Oh, here we go. Here we go.
But hey,
you know that if you guys played the Bengals, it'd be the third time you played them in the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Every trip the Bengals have been, if that happened, would have been against the Niners.
So it's poetic. It's poetic.
I don't like it. I don't like it at all.
Needs to happen. But hey, thank you for being on, man. I really appreciate it. And hopefully, and I'd said, just thank everybody for listening. Hopefully this is the first of many episodes of the Odd Couple podcast. If you like the content, please let us know how we did in the comments. Like and subscribe. It's actually on my Niner Fanatic YouTube channel. So go there to check it out, and I would love to have you on for the after game. Regardless, I know I just post you breaking all your furniture. But yeah, I'd love to have you back on right after the game. But we'll see what happens. At the very least, we're going to be on again soon. So, but thank you for coming. Thank you guys for listening, and we'll see you next time.
All right, brother. We'll talk to you soon. We'll see you guys soon.
Talk to you later.
All right. Bye.